Okay, so I'm gonna be talking about how JE lost his vision, Japan Empire. And this is the guy in this picture right here, that's JE. Anyways, I'm gonna be talking about how he lost his vision. So, trigger warning, this will contain a bit of swears, a little bit of blood, and also skin damage, and physical abusing, and also child abuse. And I would like to say is abusive dad. So yeah, let's get started. So this happened when Imperial Japan got into a huge argument with someone, and one of his servants tried to calm him down, but he was really violent and he was screaming at them physically that they should just leave him alone. As they did, Jay came out of nowhere and he just bumped into him and saying that he was sorry for bumping into him. So Imperial Japan just looked at him with a really angry stare. He figured out he could put all his anger on JE and JE will just blame himself for just hurting himself. So as he did that, he pulled on JE's hair really hard, was picking him up and mostly throwing him across the room. And it hurt and he landed on and JE landed on his back. I'm just gonna call him Japan Empire for now. So Japan Empire just landed on his back, which was really painful, and he was crying. And also his father looked at him really angrily and grabbed on Jay's neck and mostly choking him. I guess I'll just call him Japan Empire and Jay at the same time, so yeah. So for Japan Empire, he was struggling a lot. And his father told him to stop struggling, you little piece of fuck. As that happened, he kept choking him and started to strangle him, but he had enough, so he realized he could burn his son's eyes. So he had no choice. He heated up his hands and began to press on Jay's eyes really hard. Both of his hands on both of Jay's eyes. Jay was screaming really loudly, and all he saw was nothing but blurriness and darkness. He was trying to see what was going on, and he was crying really badly. His tears were covered in blue blood. Mostly Jay's blood is blue, so yeah. As that happened, he was screaming at his father to stop, but his father didn't listen. As that continues, his father stopped it for a minute, and he began to grab on Jay's whole body. He just picked him up and just began smacking him down to the ground and just beating the fuck out of him and trying to hurt him a lot. And Jay was crying really badly, but at the time he passed out. His mother walked in. Imperial Japan's wife walked in, Jay's mom. She saw what happened and she just mostly cornered Jay and she just blocked Jay from Imperial Japan, and Imperial Japan was really angry and furious. He was yelling at her. He just said, "Move away from him, you bitch ass fuck." And she said, "No, you're not gonna hurt him again." She kept screaming at him, saying that he was a kid. You should not hurt him. But all Imperial Japan did was just screaming at her and just saying that, "Oh, he's just a kid." Well, if he was a kid, maybe he should not be an ugly ass fucking child I have. All he does is nothing but just complain and fucking cry. He's a bitch, you know. And she began yelling at him a lot more and saying that he should treat Jay much more better and say that he should stop being so rude to Jay and just love him. But no, Imperial Japan will not take that. He'll just mostly not love Jay because he hates him, of course, which is really sad. And Jay couldn't hear at the time, so Jay just quickly got up and they didn't saw him. He went to the bathroom. As he couldn't see, he could see only just blurriness. He saw some white stuff, which was bandages. Don't be fucking dirty-minded, you dirty-minded bitch. But anyways, he covered his eyes up with bandages, and it was bleeding so bad. He went to his room, closed the door softly, so he does not startle his dad, and he sits down and begins crying as he hears his parents screaming really loudly. And Jay gets really triggered by hearing loud noises. He does not like hearing loud noises at all. It reminds him of his father. Due to his father screaming at his ears all day long, he gets really scared and he cries. And he cries. And here's the sad fact about J.E. Every time, every time when someone screams at him or whatever really angrily, Jay gets all emotional. He tries his best not to cry or anything like that. He tries his best not to cry, but he keeps failing, so he keeps crying himself. And also, he hates hearing loud noises because it triggers him, and he hates hearing screaming and anything like that, and anything that's like really violent. And also, after that, his mother took him to the eye doctor, and they were mostly checking on his eyes, and they just gave him a special glasses that he could finally see again with his vision. As that happened, he got glasses. Jay didn't went to school for like 1 week. So after that, Jay went to school, but he was covered in a bunch of bruises. Some people don't even like Jay, so they didn't care, but some people did. And for Jay's friends, they missed him a lot, so they asked him what happened to him or whatever. He just said that, oh, family issues. Don't worry, I just got hurt. I just hurt myself or something. It was just mental health or something like that. He just said. As that happened, he went to class and Scarlett called Jay over. So Jay went to her office and she was really concerned about how Jay came to school. Mostly, he knows that she's gonna tell him a few questions about his family. So she asked him a few questions, which was, why you're covered in so much bruises? What happened to you? And Jay always lies to people when it comes to him with his bruises. Mostly, all of his bruises are from his father. If you ever see like a burn or a scratch or a bite mark, it's coming from his father. Like, yes, Imperial Japan would sometimes bite his son really painfully with his burning mouth. And sometimes TR, his husband, Jay's husband, TR, he will sometimes, not she, he will sometimes bite Jay really softly, which would leave a little bit of small little bite marks, which is not that hard, but for his father's, well, it's really hard. But anyways, as that happened, he just lied and said that he just hurt himself, and he was saying that, oh, I just hurt myself, I'm just really clumsy, that's why I have a bunch of bruises, I get bruised easily. And she tried to believe him, but she said she wanted to look more of his skin to see if he was really alright, because he was covered in a bunch of bruises. He tried to cover it up, but at the time, his long sleeves shirts, they were dirty, so he had to take like a normal sleeves or so, but he had a bunch of bandages to cover up his arms, so yeah. As that happened, she checked on his arms, his shoulders, and his hands, and also checked on his neck a little and see a lot of burn marks on it. She was concerned and she just told him to go back to class, and then she called Imperial Japan. How they call people back then in the ancient times in my alternate universe? Well, they have this small little like crystal. So she picks up the crystal and she press on the bottom the bottom has like a small little like tickle part. As she clicks on it, that's where you can call people in the ancient times in my alternative universe. As that happened, he got a call and she was saying that she was really concerned about Jay's mental health and saying that he had a bunch of bruises in his skin and saying that if he was alright, is everything alright at home or so. And she's also saying that if you're abusing your son, I demand you to stop it or I will send you to the police. As he heard that, he was really furious as fuck. So when Jay came home, his father screamed at him, saying that, "Why did I got a call from the school?" Jay was saying that, I don't know. She just called you for no reason. I don't remember. And then he just choke him, and saying this: "If I ever get another call from the school, you know what will happen to you, mister. You better cover up all your fucking bruises. I'm not playing around anymore. I'm tired of my. I'm just tired of getting phone calls at the school. I'm just stuttering. Stuttering a little bit a lot since I don't like to talk that much, So I'm a little bad at my English and talking. So yeah." And he listened, and his neck was still covered in bruises. Well, for Jay having his neck covered in bruises, well, it's because of his father grabbing him really violently, hurting his neck, which makes him to get bruises on his neck. So Jay covers up his neck. So let's talk about what Jay wears. So he does not care if it's the summertime. Like if it's summer, Jay covers up most of his body as possible, so no one cannot see his skin. Because if he wears short sleeves or if he wears shorts or whatever, mostly everyone will see his bruises. So he likes to wear his long socks to cover up his thighs and his legs, since they're covered in bruises and also burning marks. Same with Jay. Same with his chest, arms, shoulders, and sometimes a bit of his hands and mostly his wrist. Well, for his wrist, it's a bunch of self-harm he done, mostly slitting his wrist a lot. And also, sometimes his father would burn Jay's stomach, which would hurt a bit. So, yeah, that's how Jay lost his vision. Really sad, and I pretty sure I think it's sad, but I don't know about y'all. But anyways, that's all for now. See ya.